Well, a very warm welcome to another Fishing Tale Films, and as you can probably see, I'm back down my local river where I was on my last video, and today I'm going to be fishing one of my favourite methods, the stick float. Now, I'm not particularly after any particular species because there's roach, chub, dace, a humble gudgeon, perch, a whole mix of species in here, and I'm basically going to be just fishing for bites to see what I can catch. Now, it's a very muggy night, and I'm down here, it's just coming up to 5 o'clock in the morning, so it's the nice coolest part of the day. I'm just going to do a morning session, and let's see how we get on. See you down by the riverbank. For today's morning session, I thought I'd go back down to the swim that I fished on the second morning of my last video. But like I said a bit earlier, I'm going to just be running a stick float through the swim. Goes a long way down through the swim. I'm sure I could get the float underneath them trees. Some of them are touching the water there. Going to probably try a 4 gram float. I know there's a load of birds in the distance here going berserk. Something's upset them. Hopefully it's not me. Shouldn't think so. I'm too far away from them. Let's see there. There's loads of them. Anyway, back to the fishing. Yeah, it looks lovely. Nice little crease down the middle, and I can fish to the far side of the swim as well, underneath that little sort of mini bridge, and then down to the left where it slackens right off. I'm going to be feeding caster, starting off with maggots to see. Got a little bit of bread with me, got some liquidised bread in case I want to throw a little bit in to entice them, which I'm sure I will. And looking forward to it. Love fishing the stick float, as I'm sure many river anglers do. So let's get the gear set up and let's get back down to doing what we like doing, and that's fishing. Welcome to another Fishing Tale Films. It's not the biggest fish in the world, but a little chublet. Took a liking to my double maggot, one red, one white maggot, and I missed a couple of bites. I had a little bleak, probably my second run through the swim, and then this little chub snapped up my bait. A couple of little dinks on the float, right down the back end of the swim, so they're obviously sitting back, and the idea is to try and draw them up by regularly feeding maggots, bit of caster and some hemp as well. Let's pop in back and see if there's a few more of them. I wouldn't mind catching them all day. Nice sort of morning sport that'll be. Little chublet. Well, I've had 3 fish this morning so far, in about the first half a dozen chucks, 3 different species. The first one was a bleak, then I had this little chublet and this lively little roach. And let's hope there's a few bigger ones down there, because I do love catching my roach. Well, I have to say, just caught one of my favourite species on the river, the lovely little gudgeon, and fantastic fish. If only they could grow to 2 pounds, they would fight like mad. Wonderful colours on them. Amazing little fish. Reminds me of when I used to fish on the River Lee many years ago as a young lad, catching gudgeon all day long, and I was happy as Larry. A wonderful fish. Let's pop him back. Well, that's another species for today. That's 4 species already, and I've only been fishing probably about 25 minutes. Keeping it nice and simple today for my little morning session here down on the river, using maggots, some hemp for a bit of feed, and also some caster as well, because it's good bait to use down the rivers. All fish like them, certainly do. So I'll be feeding a few caster on the hook as well, and I've also brought a few little slices of bread, so I might have a little go on the bread flake as well, because I know the chub, if there's any about, I'm sure there is, could well snap up my hook bait. That's the plan. Hook wise, I'm using the Guru MWGB 16 microbarbed. I don't know if you can see that light reflected on it. Very strong hook, perfect for what I'm doing today, which is all good. So there you go. It's not really about catching monster fish today. It's just a case of just enjoying myself, relaxing, thinking about a good friend today, and having a nice morning session down by the river, my local river, the Upper Medway, enjoying myself, catching a few fish. Well, that sun is now coming out across the top of the trees there, so I'll have to stick my sunglasses on so I can see what I'm doing, otherwise just staring into a glare, which is never good for the eyes. I'm catching a few. I've just changed, I've got another one here, just changed another little gudgeon. They're lovely little fish, aren't they? They must be sitting down in a little deep hole right in front of me, because I've had 2 gudgeon now and they've taken the bait almost straight away, so I must just be sitting down there. Probably a little nest of them. There you go. I'm actually going to do a gudgeon video a bit later in this year. You don't really see many gudgeon videos, do you? And I think they're lovely little fish. They're all part of the species that we fish for. I know I used to when I was a young lad down on the River Lakes, I mentioned a bit earlier. I'm catching a few. Like I say, I've just changed over to a loafer float from a stick float. I think I've got what have I got here? Another fish. Where I'm regularly feeding there, the fish have moved right up, and I'm catching them almost under my nose now. I'm hiding behind the reeds. Little chublet. Nice little fish. The future of the river. One of the reasons why I come down to fish maggot on the stick float and obviously now the loafer float is to see, you know, the smaller stuff that's in here as well. And I'm pretty sure if there's a big chub there, you'll take double red maggot. You'll take anything. Pop another maggot on, but I'm keeping the feed going in regular. Just fishing 2 red maggots on a size 16 hook. Got a 6-pound main line, and then I've got using the Drennan Supplex fluorocarbon, just a short link with a little number 8 dropper shot just above it, and then I'll bolt some AAs to get the float down to where I want it. I like to use quite a heavy float, heavy stick float, so that I've got something to hold back on when I'm correcting the float in the swim, and it helps me manipulate the float around because there's quite a bit of a different flow. The eddies are moving about, and it helps me to control the float. If I was using too light a float, it would just be taken all over the place, and if when I hold back, the bait would come up in the air, in the water, and I'll be pestered with bleak then. So I've had a couple of bleak early on. I think having that bait getting down quicker, sort of put them off the feed a bit, or away from my hook bait. Anyway, I'm sure they're taking all my loose offerings and throwing in. Keep that bait tickling in. Just don't want the fish to move off. Otherwise that won't be any good. Like I say, I'm just going to fish a few hours this morning to see how I'll get on, and just basically hoping that sun doesn't light up the swim. I'm enjoying it. It's great to be out by the riverside doing what you like doing, fishing. Must admit, it was quite a bit emotional for me today, walking down to the river, and because I've just recently lost a good friend of mine, Keith, who's featured in some of my videos, and only last February we went down to Hordle Lakes in Hampshire with Rue, who's a great mate of Keith's. I met Rue through Keith, and sadly after a very short illness we lost Keith only a few days ago, and as you can probably tell by my voice, I'm a little bit it's hard. Oh, slightly better fish. Another chublet, I think. Yep. So I've sort of come down the river today to sort of obviously catch fish. But to, you know, remember my mate Keith, great lad. And like I say, it's hard to believe that early April everything was fine, and then he had a funny turn, which actually thought was a stroke. Sadly, it was a bit more than that, and within 2 months, last weekend, passed away in his sleep peacefully. So I'm thankful for that, all of his friends and family. Thankful that he went in a peaceful way. That was only, still chatting to him up to a few days, keeping him, messaging him, and so it hasn't really sunk in, to be honest, and I don't think it will for a while. But I know that he would want me and Roo to carry on fishing, and guess what? That's what we're going to do. Because he loved his fishing, loved his rugby, his cricket, his football. He's got so many friends all over the world. They're all devastated that he's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Keith. Thank you for the memories. I thought I'd just have a break from catching all those gudgeon and just sit down, relax, have a little drink, take in the morning. So peaceful down here. Something special about sort of being near a river is watching the flow of the water. If you can find a river that's got a bit of flow, luckily this always has, and it's something sort of quite therapeutic. And nice overcast as well now. It's just a nice setting to just sit there and relax and like I say, take in the morning, have a little break, have a little 5-minute break, and see if there's any signs of any big fish moving about. Because you never know, quite often this is when you spot some big fish in your swim, where you take a little break. You just sit there and watch the water, see what it's doing. All of a sudden you see something move, big shadow, and you think, hello, what's that? So I'm just going to sit here for a while and enjoy the scenery. Well, I'm coming towards the end of my morning session. It's been a peaceful morning down by the river, catching quite a variety of small species. I've probably had about 70 or 80 fish. Obviously I can't show them all on the camera, because when you're filming on your own sometimes it's impossible. You'd end up doing more filming than actually fishing. But it's been a fantastic morning, like I say. Paying my respects to my mate Keith, and who would have probably texted me this morning to see how I was getting on, because we always kept in touch. He always knew when I was fishing, as if we weren't fishing together. And like I say, I'll carry on catching, not only for me but for him, and also my dad, because whenever I go fishing I always feel like my dad's with me as well. So it's been quite an emotional sort of morning session, I must admit. But I think that's good. It's always good to show your emotions to people that you have a lot of respect for and love for as well. So anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, because I've got lots of great fishing trips coming up. I'm going to go down the Hampshire Haven at Britford soon. It's water I haven't fished for 3 or 4 years now. I've got back on the LAA ticket, so I'm really looking forward to reacquainting myself with Britford on the Hampshire Haven. Lots of different variety of species to target, and also Suffolk Stour is on my list, and definitely the River Thames, also on some of the LAA ticket waters as well. So there's plenty to choose from. So if you want to follow me on my journey, please subscribe to the channel. I do hope that you do. I do hope that you've enjoyed today's video. I do like to catch lots of different variety of species, roach, perch, chub, as you will see on some of the other videos. If you flick back to some of the other videos that I've made, I fish all year round. To be honest, autumn, winter time is probably my favourite times to be down by the bankside fishing. That's what it's all about, hence Fishing Tail Films. So I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, and here's a couple of little clips of some of the great memories that I had with my mate Keith. How's it going, Keith?
Well, I just had another couple of dips.
Yeah.
They're not taking it obviously confidently at the moment, but there is definitely some signs of some action. I've put in a bit of earth, which as you know, the ground bait's not allowed. No. So I've used some earth, and I've got some like that.
Oh.
Typical, isn't it? You just look away and just show you my ground bait, and then the boat goes down. But,
well, I saw it anyway.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a real help to me. Yes. So there's obviously some.
You're getting a few knocks, aren't you?
Yeah, I am actually.
That's encouraging.
It is. I've put a couple of cups in of. I've got a mix of earth, because as I was just saying, ground bait's not allowed. So I've got the earth, but I've got some dead maggot in there, red maggot. Yeah. I've got some little prawns I just mashed up, whole packet of little prawns. Just put
bit of scent in that, in there.
Exactly. I've got some that krill liquid as well.
Yeah.
And on the actual prawn itself, look, there's something there.
Yeah, another little knock then.
And on the actual prawn, I've been dusting it in some glug, really thick krill glug, with and dusting it in. Now, what was that all about?
Certainly getting some
I don't know what that was all about.
Some indications there, isn't it?
Yeah, I am, because to me, that should have been back of the net. Yeah, it was pretty warm last night. I was a bit disappointed, really. I believe tonight's going to be colder. Yeah, 2 degrees, I think. Oh, excellent. So they reckon. So that's all 2 days at this, of course, haven't we? Not just
today and tomorrow.
And where are we going tomorrow?
We're going to go to Friendfield tomorrow, just up the road.
Yeah.
And a place where I've had some good perch before.
Yes, you have, haven't you?
Yeah. So I've had them over 3, just over 3.
Yeah.
and
I
lots
fished
of
there with you
twos.
one time. I had a 214 there once.
You did,
didn't I,
yeah,
with you?
yeah. So that's, I think it's actually short PB at the
It
moment,
is,
isn't it?
and,
Yeah.
and I thought it was a 3, and I should never forget it, because as soon as you looked, you went, now just under 3. We weighed it, and guess what? Just under 3.
It was, wasn't it?
It chuckled me at the time. Well, it didn't really chuckle me at the time, but when I look back on it, it chuckled me.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of perch over £2 that season.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
And
in fact, that day you had 11, I think.
yeah, big fish. Well, pleased to say that Keith is, after catching some crayfish, managed to get his bait intercepted by this lovely perch, £1.10, nice plump fish, must admit. And what did you have that on, Keith? Lobworm or prawn?
Prawn. Yeah, and I chopped some prawn up
Yeah.
and put it in you know, like a little mash, chucked it in, and then suddenly, here we go.
Nice. Zoom in on him. Got a nice little fat belly on him.
Well, those crayfish, mate.
That's right, yeah. Well done.
Thanks, mate.